and welcome to episode 2 of the Witch's Portal podcast. I am Maya, the Hot White Witch, and today our special guest is Mystic Banks. Thank you so much for coming to our show today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And how did you come into your gifts? Like, what was the first thing that made you know that you were different, you were gifted? Let's hear about it.
Well, it didn't happen for me at a young age. It wasn't until I was 33 and I was at a point in my life where I was beginning to kind of like lose everything. I was getting addicted to drugs. You know, uh, my relationship I was in for a long time was falling apart. I lost my job, all my friends. So I was at like a very dark point in my life. And then I had a near death experience on DMT 5-MeO, which is the venom of a toad. It's the most powerful psychedelic known to man. I didn't know that at the time. Um, but I had a friend who was a shaman of sorts who suggested it to me, and I was already at a very low point. So I was like, what's the worst that could happen? And in that experience, I had a complete death experience, ego death, reality disappeared. I had no body. I went to the void, if you will. I became everything and nothing. And when I came back from that is when I kind of came online to the mystical psychic abilities. And it started out with like dreams that would come true and dreams that were strange that I now know are kind of like past life dreams. Um, and then I had a clairaudient experience when I heard basically like the communication between a plane and the airport that it was landing at as it was flying over me.
Ooh, I got shivers.
And that was like really scary for me because at that point I was just thinking I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
And then my brother, who is a kung fu master, and he's been doing it for like 20 years, he suggested to me, I think you need to start meditating. So then he and I meditated for the very first time that I had ever meditated. We meditated like in the same room. We did like a guided meditation on YouTube. It's like a 20-minute like guided meditation thing. And during that experience, I projected out into outer space. I saw my third eye. I saw ancestral spirits. It was this whole crazy, very vivid experience. Very first time I ever meditated. And then when I came out of it, I went to go tell my brother, who was sitting a few feet away from me. And he looked up at me. And before I could say anything, he was like, "Was that your eye or my eye?" So we had just had a linked experience.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
experienced the whole thing the whole way through. I did exactly just like the same perspective and everything. So that outside validation was like, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And my brother was like, I don't know. But obviously this is something we need to like dive deeper into. And so from there kind of started diving more into like astrology and tarot, and I was always more into like the primordial knowledge, the divine understanding of nature and that kind of stuff. Like I knew I wasn't going to find the answers I was looking for like in the written texts. I was
Yeah.
more looking for the deeper, like what do colors mean, what do shapes mean, divine masculine and feminine energy, duality, um holographic universe stuff. And it just one day it just all exploded and all made so much sense to me. And here I am.
Wow, that's an amazing story. It sounds like you're extremely powerful and you always have been, and it really didn't take much for you to just tap in. Like, first meditation, I mean, you guys had a joint connection like that. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Oh yeah, and we've done so much stuff since then. Like it almost got boring after a while because we were like, we were experimenting. What else
You're
can we
so
do? What
used
else can we
to
do?
it.
Yeah, and like we met our spirit animals together in a meditation. Where like he saw mine, I saw his, and like they
Ooh, what
interacted.
are you?
Mine's a phoenix, and his is a dragon.
Wow.
Yeah, and we
Phoenix
both.
just keeps popping up for me in the past 24 hours nonstop.
Oh yeah, I just quit my job, my 9 to 5 job, like a week ago to do this like full time, like the mystic work and the social media and the
Amazing.
podcasting and all that kind of stuff. And it's a big leap of faith for me, but I quit on my birthday, on my 37th birthday. And 3
Wow.
plus 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. It's the beginning of a new cycle. And my Jupiter return commences on June 9th.
Ooh, what a
Yeah.
perfect time, eh?
So
Divine time.
I'm leaning into it. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's amazing. I've been checking out your page. Like, I just randomly found you a week ago, and instantly, like, I felt like we knew each other. Like, we are friends in like another life or something.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
From what you've been telling me, I kind of want to jump into that first experience we were talking about because when we first moved here to Mexico about 4 years ago, my boyfriend tried the toad, and it's the same thing you tried, right? Like, he puffed
Yep.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't have such a crazy experience like you did.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of experience with psychedelics like my whole life. I'd done mushrooms a couple times, big pothead, but never done LSD. I've still never done LSD.
You should try
Uh
it.
Yeah, I know I have people give it to me all the time. I have plenty. Like, it's just I'm waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
But I microdose plant-based DMT like quite often. Um, which is much different than the toad. So some people a lot of people have like some sort of a kind of like a death feeling or an ego death feeling. But because I had no concept of that, for me it was like very real. Like, within moments of smoking it, all of reality turned into black and white geometric shapes. It imploded. I felt like a zap through my brain, and I knew that like I had just like fucked up and like done some crazy drug and I was dying. And it was like it all happened within seconds. And the the thing that my friend told me who was administering it was like, whatever happens, just let go. And I really didn't want to let go. No, but it like
Yeah.
it rips it so fast from you. At least it did for me. It just ripped it all. And so it was like the most scary, intense, painful. But again, I was going through a metaphorical rebirth in my life of going through a metaphorical death. So I think I was really embodying all that through this experience. And it was like so scary. And then whoop, whoa, this is who I really am. Like, I feel bad for everybody still living. Uh, I know everything. I know nothing. I am both of those things.
Mhm.
And the biggest message I got when I came back was that everything matters and nothing matters. And it was just like so clear to me, just like nothing matters. Like it all matters, but none of it really matters.
You
Like,
felt the true like duality of life all
yeah,
at
yeah.
once.
And so when I came back, it was like I felt like I had um like knowledge of everything, but I didn't know how to explain it or express it in any way. So that's
There's
why I
no.
started diving into like astrology and tarot, and then I was like, okay, this shit's real.
Mhm.
And then just deeper and deeper. What else? What else? What else? And it, I often describe it. It's like I went through a wormhole to like the end, which was also the beginning,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh, I get it. And then I came back through the wormhole to forget it all so I could experience it all again, which is, I think, kind of what we're doing as God's source incarnate in a lot of ways.
Mhm. Wow, that's so cool. I always love to talk to people and share their experiences because you really get to see it through another lens, and it's just so interesting, you know.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so you also said that you had some clairaudient experience. Was that the first experience you had then?
That was the first, like, I would say Claire experience for sure. And since then, like as I was developing more of my psychic gifts, I was basically asked spirit like not to scare me. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't really want to hear things. I don't really want to see things. I'm down for anything. I'm really good with metaphors. So I'm like, I'm down for anything in meditation, dreams, real life events. Like, but just like, don't give me, I'm not into that that frequency of like the ghosts and the hearing crying babies that aren't there and things like that.
Oh
It
yeah.
happened a few times, and I'm just like, I don't really want that. And it's listened to me for the most part, but sometimes that it comes through that way, and it has to. Like the other
Mhm.
day, I was meditating, and I heard a voice say Chiron, and I was like, oh. And then right after I heard that voice, it was in the head though. Then I heard in reality right behind me somebody sneeze that wasn't there, and I was like, whoa,
Ooh.
like the the hair on my neck was like, whoo, and I was like, all right, let's bring it back in.
Yeah, mine's standing up right now
You
too.
know, so but since then, like what I've really developed is very visual visions when I meditate. Um, so I never really know what they are until I kind of find out the person that needs the message, you know, what it is. But sometimes I get people that have passed over or right before they die, they'll come to me and then I'll find out who they are later and have to give the message like that. Um, and I really see the constant metaphor of everything in life. So like I read life like a tarot card or like a dream, basically. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's beautiful. Me myself, I've only had one clairaudient experience. I've had lots of visions and visual stuff, but yeah, I just had one experience, and same with you. Like, I was like, I don't want this because I was cleansing the house. It felt like there was like some stagnant energy here because I don't know, we had some guests over, and also we just moved into the house. I don't
Sure.
know what was going on here before, but I was saging the house, and I was standing by my staircase, and I just heard these two voices, and they were speaking in a different dialect, like something I had never heard before, and they were very deep voices, like they almost sounded like demonic,
Hmm.
talking back and forth for like 5 seconds. And I thought the TV was on or something. Like I got so freaked out, and since then I was like, "Angels, universe, God, like don't let that happen again," because that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm just not, and it's like what I've also discovered is that really like there's so many infinite uh dimensions and portals to whatever it is that you're looking for. So like if you pay it attention, that's basically how you're giving the thought form, right?
Allowing it
So
in.
you know whatever rabbit holes you go down, it's infinite and it'll continue to reveal itself to you. So but that's why I think, you know, through the work that you've done, it is important to peek into the darkness because you have to know what you're
Both
working with.
sides.
Yeah, you got to know.
Yeah, myself, well, I've always kind of I've gone through several like awakenings through my life, but when I moved here, I went through a couple like dark nights of the soul and really got into spirituality. But I did get into like the toxic positivity for a little bit. Like I was just trying to be positive, trying to make everything good, and like I was miserable. It took me a while to realize like this is not life. You have to experience all the feelings, and that's finally when I found my bliss, and it's been great since then.
Yeah, it's the old Zen Buddhist kind of understanding that like you are supposed to feel everything, you're just not supposed to hold on to it. Like
Yeah,
fully feel all that stuff, but
feel
just
it and let that
oh
shit
yeah,
go.
now I can direct my mind somewhere else. It's like, you know, it's the same thing with manifestation. They say to like, you know, think of it, visualize it and let it go. It's kind of the same thing when we're dealing with like stress and anxiety and deep emotions and dark nights of the soul. It's like, yeah, feel it, but then like let it go. Just let it go.
It's true. You can get stuck in it. Like definitely when I had my first one, I kind of did fall into a little bit of depression because you awaken deeper and you look around and you realize like there's a lot of pain in the world. Like there's a lot of pain everywhere. And yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
it's
just focus on that either.
yeah, no, you can't, but it is necessary to go deep because the deeper that you know yourself, the deeper you know everyone and everything, and there's more
Yeah,
compassion, right? Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so I wanted to get into dreams. I love talking about dreams, or not even dreams. I love story times. So, is there any kind of like story or couple stories that you've experienced that you want to share with the world?
Oh, sure. One actually happened recently, so I'll talk about this one, but there's another one with my brother that had a dream that came true. That was pretty cool. Um, but with me recently, so like I quit my job on a Monday. The Friday before that Monday, I had a disagreement with my boss. And the night before I had the disagreement with my boss, I had a dream. And in this dream, I saw a tall, white, blonde man, kind of looking like me, but like taller and skinnier. And I said something about how tall he was. And I was like, is it because of how tall you are? And he was like, oh, maybe, but like, you know, you don't got nothing to worry about. This is the way. And I followed him to a brick wall and he touched one of the bricks and it went like boop, boop, boop. And it opened up like Harry Potter, like, and it was a
Oh,
secret passageway. And that's all I remember from the dream. And then the next day, all of this stuff happened, and I was like, I think that that dream is obviously a sign that like I need to go into the unknown. That was
He was
probably my
opening the portal for you and you walk through it.
yeah. It's like my higher self, kind of right, because he kind of looked like me, but taller and skinnier, you know. And like I was like, huh. So yeah, and basically ever since I did that, it was like rapidly, like over the next few days, I met so many incredible people that unlocked, like activated me in different ways that helped me with my mystic business that made me go, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna, I don't know, but I'm just gonna, I'm not resident. I was having to like dim myself to like, I'm playing a double life, kind of like dimming myself to be part of the matrix. And then meanwhile, I have like, 50,000 followers, millions of people that like my videos that like love me for who I am and support me for that. It was really like fucking with me. So I was
Yeah.
just like, you know what? I just gotta take the leap, and it's been really great.
No, I totally feel that because I did the same thing. Like, I started really showing up last year and things were blowing up. I was in alignment, and everybody that was in alignment with me was coming to me. And then I almost like shared it too much with the people close to me. And I guess it was kind of like I was taking their opinions to heart and I did dim myself. And then I just totally got off social media for like 6 months. But it was hurting me. I kept feeling pulled. Like I needed to share a message. I needed to help people find their magic. And literally just like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, that's enough. Like I'm fucking tired of myself. I'm tired of stopping myself from my dream. So I just jumped in with both feet as well around the same time as you. And it's been amazing.
That's amazing. What's your astrological sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, Aries. Excellent. One of my best friends and spiritual mentors is a triple Aries. I love Aries. I'm
Really?
I'm a Gemini.
I
So
was gonna guess that. I don't know why.
the fire and the air were like yeah, the
Yes.
best. And then the other dream that I'll share real quick was my brother, when he was like 19, he was living with a roommate, and he had a strange dream where he was playing miniature golf with his roommate, and in the dream they were like his roommate was putting into like a giant goldfish mouth. It was like part of the miniature golf course, and then he was holding the ball and walking back to him smiling. And my brother woke up from the dream and told his roommate, like, I just had a weird dream that like we were at a golf course, like whatever. And then 2 weeks later, they go to Lake Tahoe, the first time they've ever been there, and they decide to go miniature golfing. And my brother's sitting down at a bench smoking a bowl, and he looks up and he's like, dude, do you remember the dream? And it's exactly like what he described. And you know, he doesn't we don't really understand yet the message. We've toyed with the whole thing of like the goldfish and the symbolism of that and all that. There's lots of stuff it could be, but for him that was like, okay, I don't, space and time, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
pretty
there's
much.
something else going on here, and I've had similar experiences as well, lots. And yeah, space and time are an illusion. That's what we know.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I've
Yeah.
had a couple of visions like that too. And it sounds like your brother needs to tap into his gifts because it sounds
Oh,
like
he
he's a
is.
powerful clairvoyant as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. He's a Virgo, but he is a kung fu master, and he is
Okay.
really, I would say, more about the body in this incarnation, and I'm more about the mind. And we know that in past lives it was the opposite, where I was more interested in like the kung fu and he was more the mystic. So it's funny because when he has psychic things, he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. And when psychic things happen to me, I'm like, dude, whoa. So it's
Mind
like
blowing.
we think that it's probably because he's like his soul is used to it, kind of like, oh yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so there's this dream. I don't know if you can like decipher it for me. I'm kind of starting to decipher it, but and for anybody listening out there, if you've ever had this dreams, I know in the collective there's lots of people that will have the same recurring dreams. I have this dream all the time that I'm in a car and I'm on like a road going up the mountain, but the road and the mountain and everything is completely covered in snow.
Hmm.
And I'm just like going up, 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 but I'm kind of scared of heights. So I've had that dream like 50 times and I was always terrified. And in waking life, anytime we start going up a hill, like I feel like we're gonna fall backwards. And a
Oh
couple
wow.
times in my dream, we did fall backwards and it was terrifying. So that scared me. But then what I think it is I was like scared of following my dreams or scared of showing up or something like that. As soon as I started showing up for myself, I had the dream again, but I wasn't scared. And we ripped up the mountain and I was like, whoa, like screaming out the window, like so excited.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Okay, so I agree with what you're saying, and the initial feeling of the dream is the most important. But if we're talking about symbolism, yeah, it's the path of your life. Up a hill is like ascension, elevation. Snow is white, which is, yeah, the crown chakra, or even above that, that crystal kind of clear. It's also it's slippery when it's icy, right? So it's like this whole idea of driving yourself. Yeah, and the driving is very much about like the drive in your life, right? So I think that, yeah, you're afraid of your ascension, you're afraid of the inevitable, right, which is expressing yourself fully.
Yeah,
And because no matter how much we delay that, like, it's coming. So it's
yeah.
like when you realize that, like, oh my god, I like, there's no rush to becoming the highest version of myself, but it must start today, right? So I think that's what that's about for sure. It's a really beautiful dream. I often have dreams where I'm flying airplanes. So okay, I had a dream one time. This was like maybe like 4 months ago, and I was like starting to have a lot of videos go viral, and I was like, whoa, 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 this is crazy. I'm feeling fucking really good about myself right now.
Yeah.
And um I had a dream where I was in an airplane. I wasn't flying it, but I was in an airplane, and then in the dream we were flying really high, and then we went really low, like super low. And I heard like the one of the pilots asked the other pilot. He was like, "Why are you going?" Or no, it was the flight attendant asked the pilot, like, "Why are you dipping so low?" And the pilot said, "Because we needed to cool off." And then right after that, we picked up, oh, and we like almost like we went in between like two wires, and then we were off. But so the message that it told me is like, it's kind of like a message of stoicism. It's like when we're super pumped up, we're like, oh my god, I'm fucking super high, I'm fucking feeling. It's like it's almost like our nervous system, our reality has to be like, okay, we need to cool down a little bit, right? And it's like, and then we'll come back up again. It's all that wave.
Yeah.
So yeah, the subconscious mind is always communicating with us in like metaphor, and symbolism and mythology and all that kind of stuff.
And with one little thought here, do you have anything you want to share with the audience, with my followers, with your followers, about how to connect to their intuition or wake up their gifts or anything to do with that, with your awakenings?
Yes. Meditation and um creative expression and exercise. I know that sounds kind of like silly, but you can get in meditative states through exercise as well, and like breath work and stuff. And this is part of like the mind, body, soul equilibrium. And that for me, I definitely, in a way, like helped my psychic gifts open up through making music, because I'm also a mystic rapper. I make conscious hip hop.
I saw your
And
video the other day. Really good.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have 3 albums out. Check me out. Spotify, all the other places, SoundCloud, iTunes,
Yes,
Optimistic
check them out.
Banks.
Check them out.
And so, but yeah, so like when I would basically like fall asleep at my computer like while I was making music, and it was like looping the same 4 bar beat. And then I found out later that I was basically kind of like balancing my left and right hemisphere, tapping into like the collective consciousness. It's like binary beats. Um,
Yeah.
so, but it's just, I think that the key is just to continue to explore your creative expressions, because like anything that we're doing in life that doesn't have a passion behind it, it's not sustainable, because we're only doing it for like exterior validation.
Yeah.
You did a good job, you paid your bills, you're in society, you're in the matrix, and you got the hand, and it's
Yeah.
like all that's exterior stuff, and it feels good, but it's not sustainable. The
Mhm.
thing that is infinite energy is comes from your passion. So when your passion is behind what you're doing in life, infinite, and it's like, if it's fun, eventually it'll make you funds. And I know that all this is part of opening up your third eye, essentially, is because that's where the imagination and the creativity is projected to the reality that we experience.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Creativity is so, so important. Like, if you're not following creativity, like what you do in life can become pretty bleak and just leave you feeling empty, you know?
Yeah, you got to have something to wake up and look forward to every day, and that has to come from within. If it's from an external source, it's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Something else I'd like to add to that, everything you said about tapping in, those are all amazing methods, and I've been getting back into them because I kind of fell off for a little while. But the sun, the sun, at least for me, has helped me so much lately. Like I just go and lay in the sun for like an hour every morning. It is like doing something to my third
Oh,
eye.
for sure. Absolutely. I kind of like to believe that we came here, we are beams of light, and that we kind of all have our home star in a way, and that we kind
Yes.
of we ride the star system from star to star, bink, 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 and then we kind of like project ourselves down here. So I do think we kind of come through the sun in a way. So it is a part of us, as we know. And even when we think of like the astrology, you know, like your sun sign is basically whatever constellation was behind the sun when you were born. So it's almost like you shine through the sun, right? So I think definitely the sun activates all that, good for the pineal gland and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, one little thing, what do you think about I've been hearing that they switched the sun. Do you believe that or no?
Okay, I believe that there are infinite timelines and infinite realities, and that each of us, as the observer of source, is experiencing a unique one. And so basically, whatever you believe is the timeline that you'll go into. So I think it's yes and it's no.
So focus on where you want to go, pretty much.
Yeah, you get to decide literally everything. Reality doesn't happen to you; it happens from you.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on here, Banks. I really appreciate it. I loved getting to know you deeper, and I'm sure my audience loved getting to know you and loved all of the wisdom that you had to share with us.
I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. Optimistic Banks. Check me out on all your
Check them out.
yeah, all your streaming platforms and social medias and all that fun stuff.